Welcome to Beauties, you beauty. Let's go.
We do have a lot going on in the women's hockey world as a blanket umbrella statement, because it's not a secret, that there's the PWHPA and then there's the PHF, right?
Correct, yeah.
A statement came out. Two huge statements came out from both leagues, right?
Yeah.
One came out on March 2nd, Sportsnet for the PWHPA that says that there is in works a women's pro league closer than ever. And it has to be said within the next 2 years. So I did a little digging. Jana Hefford, the president of the PWHPA, did not comment. And they also would not give a definitive timeline. But Sportsnet did cover that there has been talks closer than ever about there being an established league within the next 2 years. And then I'll just set the stage here before we actually get into it, because then we flip over to the PHF, which is a league. The PWHPA is showcase based, the PHF is league based, and then they get new ownership in the Toronto Six, which is the team that's top of the standings right now. Have a tremendous following, have really big names behind it, but they talk about new ownership. In some pretty big names.
Huge names. People staying within the sport, in Ted Nolan,
Anthony
Stewart, Angela James,
Bernice Carnegie.
And there were, Jeff Merrick had mentioned in the Hockey Night in Canada, for any of those of you who watched that last night, that there's more names he thinks. They just don't know who they are yet.
There are some of the names. I haven't been able to confirm or pin down those other ones. Look for an announcement in the next couple of days, said Merrick. So this is big. And we talked about, we wish there was like a documentary that's being filmed behind the scenes right now to actually see what's going on, because at the end of the day, let's just get it done. Let's just get a league going. Let's figure it out. But it is interesting to me how they're both gas on the pedal, full throttle on both sides.
They're hammer down.
Nobody's backing down even for a second.
Yeah, it does leave a lot of questions. As a sports fan, it certainly does. Because there is neither one nor the other that I hope is any more successful than the other one.
Right.
I want, personally, my desire is for eventually one single viable, long-term, sustainable league.
Right.
If in the interim of that there are two viable options, cool. The fact that we have dedicated women fighting for this in two very different ways, I don't think that we can ever say, there's more noise about hockey right now than there's ever been.
Agreed. Very agreed. And you're right. If this is the steps that it needs to take to get the one league, then we just have to go through the steps. We just have to do it. But man, does it leave a lot of questions as to what is going on behind the scenes of this whole thing, because you got NHL guys essentially investing in the PHF, but on this side, it looks like you've got the NHL organizations
partnering with
the PWHPA. So it's like, whoa,
there's
so much to unpack there.
There is a lot
that if you are into this stuff and you like breaking down this type of topic and conversation and seeing where, I highly invest you put your time into learning more about the PHF and what they are doing, and the PWHPA and what they are doing. Because the more you learn about the two missions of these leagues, it's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, they're all hockey fans. Everybody's hockey fans wanting the same thing. They're just taking two different routes to try to achieve it. Yeah,
and the unfortunate part is that what's happening to, and we've talked about this last episode, keyboard warriors need to go away. If you don't actually know, don't talk about it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I know, it sounds kind of blunt, but
It's true.
But what's happening too that we're seeing is that people are trying to pin the PHF against the PWHPA in ways.
Right.
And I don't know everyone on the ice in either of these, association or league, but I've got to believe in what you and our gut feel is as ex-hockey players, as talking to the likes of Noxie and knowing lots of people who still exist in these places, that there is no... They all know. They are very aware. There is no internal battle.
No.
They're just trying to achieve what their goal is.
I agree.
And they're in their own lane.
Yeah. We have to, and I can't remember what episode it was that we talked about it. Like the whole, women versus women and pinning each other against, I think it was, who are we talking about? Cambage and Hammond, right?
Yeah.
How it was through media was perceived that they were just Battle of the Titans out, where it wasn't that.
No.
It was just two women saying what they wanted to say and having that conversation, but media spun it into this whole thing. So I think you're bang on in the fact of media will spin things. These incredible athletes all want the same thing.
Yes.
That's the bare minimum of the whole thing.